Liesel was in the gallery working on a restoration piece when the sound of Sandy's voice carried into the back room. "Not again!" she muttered furiously. By the time she got to the front, Mallory and two other guards were already there, and they were forming a barrier between the sisters. Janka was behind the counter with a customer standing at the end with a startled look on her face. Sandy pulled a gun and held it out with trembling hands. "Aw shit!" Mallory grunted as he put his huge frame directly in front of Liesel. "Sandy, what are you doing?" "He took everything from me, so I'm going to take everything from him." "Who?" "Isaias Machado. If Liesel hadn't met up with him, my life would be perfect. He ruined everything. He loves her so much he can live without her and feel my pain." "You're going to kill her?" "Yes, she is going to die so he knows what it's like." "Sandy," Liesel tried to peek past Mallory's shoulder on her tiptoes, "you can't kill me." "Why not? You're not my sister anymore, right?" "You can't kill anyone, sister or not. You'll go to prison." "I'm already in fucking prison, Liesel. I can't travel. I can't have sex. I'm stuck with Merlin's stupid ironclad prenup thanks to Isaias giving him all the evidence of me cheating on Merlin. Merlin put me up in an apartment, but I know he has someone watching all the time. I can't breathe, Liesel. Isaias did this. He took my freedom away from me." "You did it yourself," Mallory interjected. "If you weren't such a horrible human being taunting, tormenting, and torturing Liesel all the fucking time, you wouldn't be in this mess. You were the one who went after her husband because you wanted what she had. You can lie all you want and say Merlin wanted you and chased you hard, but the minute she moved on with Isaias, you made a play for him too. You are a sick, demented bitch. He needs to suffer too. I hate him. He didn't have to get involved. He told you if you continued to harass me, he would make sure the world knows who you really are. Did you think he lied?" Liesel asked, strangely calm about the entire situation. "Sandy, you want to kill me to get back at him. What about Mom and Fred? You would kill me knowing it would hurt them?" "I've already lost them too." "Again, it was your doing for your family to shun you. Your behavior in trying to destroy your sister's sanity and life caused the people who love you to alienate you. You're done, Sandy. Hand over the gun." "No, not until I put a bullet in her brain." "Why?" Liesel questioned curiously. "Why do you hate me so much, Sandy? Why? It's been 26 years of you hating me, and I don't know why. If you're going to kill me, shouldn't I get to know why you hate me so much?" "Because you're everyone's favorite. Everyone loves you more. You would make paintings and drawings, and everyone would gush over them. But nobody cared. I could do math in my head from the time I was little. I was reading by the time I was 3, but who gave a fuck so long as Liesel was painting pictures and passing them out like candy to anyone who wanted one. For my birthday people gave me toys I was never going to play with because they didn't know anything about me but you. They always gave you everything to inspire your creative mind. They gave me things like nesting dolls. Yeah, because you used to add and subtract and multiply all the time. The dolls from Auntie were meant to entertain you with adding and subtracting, interactive and educational." She was peeking around Mallory's arm and saw the shocked expression on her sister's face. "What?" "They bought you things they thought you would want to play with. Eventually, everyone stopped trying because you were an ungrateful bitch. I remember for your 11th birthday, Granddad bought you tickets to the play Matilda at the theater. He always said you were as smart as the kid in the show. You ripped them up in his face and said it was a stupid gift." She stepped sideways to look at her. "Sandy, he thought he was getting you the best gift ever of taking you to a show so you could see how he saw you, as the really bright one, and instead you tore it up. You wonder why everyone liked me better? It's because I wasn't a grade A bitch." When she lifted the gun angrily, Mallory easily reached out and grabbed it, disarmed it, and put it in his pocket. Sandy squealed and started throwing futile punches. He restrained her and held her hands behind her back. "The camera caught everything. If you listen carefully, Sandy, the cops were already called, and you can hear the sirens. You're going to be arrested for attempted murder of your own sister." "No, Liesel, I was kidding. Make them stop." "You think you can walk into a public establishment with customers?" He waved to the woman standing there shaking next to Janka, now behind the counter with one of the security agents protecting them, "waving a gun and threatening to kill your own sister and not be punished? Liesel doesn't get a choice in this, Sandy. This is a criminal matter, not civil. Attempted murder is a criminal offense." No, Liesel, make them listen." "Sandy, you just came in here, waving a gun and telling me I needed to die. You need psychiatric help. I'm done with you. I have a child to think about now, and if Fiancé loves me, I don't need to keep trying to placate you and make you feel special or more important than me because your self-esteem is in such tatters. I'm done." I'm your sister. That you just tried to murder. Liesel screamed back, furiously losing her temper for the first time in a long time to the point she was yelling, "You came in here with a gun with the intent to kill me. Do you even understand how fucking depraved this is? I am not your sister anymore. You have been making my life a living hell since I was a child. I'm convinced this," she pointed to the gun Mallory had now in his possession, "was always your end goal. This isn't about Isaias, this is about you, hating me and being jealous of me to the point you want me completely gone. If you can't get pleasure from torturing me anymore, then I may as well not be here, right? You were just using the excuse of Isaias that he gave you an out, and you can use the pressure of what he did as your catalyst to shooting me, but it was always your end goal, wasn't it?" Her heart thumped furiously as she waited for her sister to confirm her worst nightmares. Suddenly Sandy's face stopped the crying and sniveling, and she stared at Liesel and calmly said, "Yes, exactly right. I hate you. You stole my parents, my brothers, my aunts, and uncles with your self-righteous, Liesel cannot do anything wrong attitude. Fuck you. I hope Isaias turns out to be a bigger cheating man whore than Merlin, for the record. I did blackmail him. He was wasted in the bathroom when I sucked his dick. I made sure I videoed it. Most of the time he fucked me he was limp-dicked. I used to wait until after you two got back from a date night because I knew you would have taken his Viagra the night before. I wanted to hurt you, so I used faulty condoms to get pregnant to destroy your marriage." "You manipulative psychopath." Janka finally spoke up. "You are legitimately insane." "Yes, and it's going to be my plea defense when I'm in court for this." "Good luck." Liesel snorted, "The cameras are still rolling. We have witnesses, and you can't simply create an insanity plea for murder. Watch me. I'm really good." "I bet you still forget there are cameras rolling. I can argue they were tampered with." The cops burst through the door. Mallory held up the weapon. "I just disarmed her. She has admitted her plot to kill her sister. The cameras caught everything, including her saying she was going to argue the cameras were tampered with. Can I suggest you take the video now to avoid this? We'll be keeping a copy as it live streams to our security office." Mallory turned and hugged Liesel tight. "Isaias is on his way. He was at the new house with the general contractor, but he's coming. Don't worry. He'll be here." Liesel walked into the house with Isaias' arm over her shoulder. Matilda greeted them at the door. "Hello, Liesel. I heard you had an eventful day. I made you chocolate cake." "Thank you." She smiled gratefully. At the police station, when Liesel had given her statement, her mother had come in. Sandy had started crying and bawling, calling out for her mommy and asking her to help save her. Lorraine had shaken her head at her and moved to Liesel and had wrapped her arms around her and held her tight. Isaias, Fred, and Lorraine, along with Isaias' parents, had watched the video of Sandy's ranting in the gallery, and Lorraine had wept hard. Fred had taken her home with him and Meredith. Matilda pulled her from Isaias' arms and gave her a tight squeeze. "It will be okay. Dinner is in the oven. You should go take a nice bath, not too hot because it's not good for the baby, and have a good cry to get the day out of your system. Then come down and I'll give you and Isaias your dinner before I leave." "Thanks, Matilda." Isaias patted the older woman's shoulder. "What would we do without you? Eat at your parents' house a lot, I'm sure." "And Mara's," Liesel giggled as she reminded him of the restaurant. He still insisted they go to once a week. "Truth, we'd be eating there more than at Mom's, I'm sure of it." He escorted Liesel to their bedroom and stood standing over her at the foot of the bed, his hand gently tilting her jaw upward. "Are you okay?" "I think I saw it coming," she said quietly. "A while back you asked me if I was in danger from her, and I said no, but, in my gut, something felt off. I couldn't explain it then, and I can't now. I'm just glad the guys were there. Also, can I say, Mallory was badass the way he simply took the gun right out of her hand like it was a water pistol?" He chuckled. "I only hire the best, and I'm glad my cousin is the best. I'm so grateful he kept you safe today. I'd like to say I'm not convinced she wouldn't have pulled the trigger, but she is insane." "No, she isn't." He squatted down in front of her. "I love you. I love you so very much. I hope you don't intend to let the DA go lightly with her. If I had my way, I'd have them throw everything at her. As many charges as they can find." "I will cooperate, Isaias. It's not only me now. We have a baby coming we need to protect, and given how jealous she is of me, what she could do to our child frightens me. I wasn't scared for myself today. I knew Mallory had it handled, but all I could think of was if she was loose and wanted to get to me through our baby, I don't know what I would do." "She will never get the chance now." He stared into her eyes. "I think Matilda is right. A warm bath to relax, and then dinner?" Sounds amazing to me. Lay down and I'll go run your bath. When she protested how she could do it herself, he chuckled and motioned to the bed. Stop arguing and let me take care of you. An hour later, she was sitting at the dining room table with a healthy portion of a roast beef dinner in front of her and Isaias at her side. He was doting and loving as he continued the caring behavior he'd been exhibiting since he'd arrived at the gallery. He'd crawled into the tub with her and held her while she'd sobbed her heart out, whispering soft words of comfort. He'd dressed her in a chemise and robe and carried her to the kitchen. She had drawn the line at him feeding her though. What are you thinking? He asked quietly as he stroked the back of her hand with his thumb atop the table. I'm thinking of how lucky I am to have you. I might not be here if it weren't for you. How so? I can't help but feel I precipitated things, and I'm feeling immeasurable amounts of guilt. It was always her end goal. I think Isaias. If I had never met you, she still would be hounding me, and I can't help but believe had Merlin divorced her once the baby was born and pursued me, if you weren't in my life, she would have found a way to kill me. Without you in my life, things would have been infinitely worse than they were earlier today. Each day I am more and more grateful for your presence, Isaias. I love you. She held his gaze unreservedly, praying the depth of the love she had for him was portrayed in her Yes. I will never be a perfect man, Liesl. I'll probably take off 1,000 times in our lifetime to clear my head and arrange my thoughts. I'll quite possibly piss you off, and considering how much I'm going to be underfoot, we're bound to bump heads, but I promise you, I will love and protect you and respect the love you have for me until I take my last breath. I know you are more than capable of taking care of yourself, and I admit the feisty, strong-willed woman you are is a huge turn-on, yet I will be there by your side each time you need to be strong, if only to be your cheerleader. She couldn't help but smile at his words. It might be a bit rough going over the next few months, considering how much I'm going to miss my mocha lattes and the wine from the cellar. He laughed boldly at her. I think I can take it. You need to grow a human. I can handle the mood swings too, and even the amount of candy Janka told me you've been consuming. They exchanged a grin and he motioned at her plate. Please eat the healthy stuff too though? They finished their meal, occasionally exchanging loving glances, before Liesl spoke again. You know how you asked me to look at vacation options? She asked quietly. Yes. I know we have the house rent us starting already and the whole shit with Sandy's arrest, but can we take the vacation? You and me, alone, even if it's only a weekend? He smirked at her. Yes, the sale of the company will be concluded by end of week and then we can take a vacation. Let's go for a week. By the time we get back, it will be time to start planning the holidays. I'd like to be in the new house by Christmas. I love the sounds of this. Can we go somewhere warm? Yes. He smiled suddenly. I like the idea of you in a bikini. It can be arranged. As they sat discussing and planning a romantic vacation away, Liesl considered she was the luckiest woman in the world. Never had she imagined when bribing the billionaire's revenge, she would find herself falling in love again, and on the path she found herself on, with his unwavering love and support, there wasn't anything they wouldn't rise above. She knew their love was not bittersweet, like revenge, but perfect and righteous. It was her new happily ever after. She couldn't have painted it better herself.